All Access. This is Brianna, and we're here live today with the one and only Is Chief. How's it going?
It's Chief. It's going well. Grateful to be here. Thankful to be sitting on this comfortable couch.
Welcome to Hip Hop Weekly. Introduce yourself.
Well, thank you for having me first and foremost. My name is Chief. Is Chief everything. Is Chief the brand. Is Chief the album out now. I'm originally from Minnesota, Minneapolis, Minnesota to be exact, north side. I moved to Atlanta when I was about 8 years old, so 97. And I was raised here, Cobb County, Marietta. Shout out to Marietta, Cobb County. Again, north
Shout
side.
out to Cobb. Okay. All right. Nice. So describe your musical style.
My musical style, I say, is original. It's me. I know a lot of times I try to explain to people, they say, what type of artist you are? I say, I rap, but I know how to do melodies as well. I know how to write different genres, so I mix it all into my music, and I just call it Chief music, you know?
Okay.
I just try to separate it from comparing it to anybody else's music or just one specific genre, and it's just Chief music.
Okay. All right. So what kind of impression do you want your music fans to have, when they listen to your music?
Well, in the end of it all, Is Chief itself is a lifestyle brand. It's
Okay.
my name as an artist, but it's a lifestyle brand. And basically it's leaders leading leaders. And whatever it is, whether it's a shirt, whether it's my music, whether it's whatever it is, whatever accessory, whatever type of item it is, you have a feeling of it's everything I put out is exclusive. Music, items, it's usually one of one or it's custom made for someone. And everything is basically you or you. Be original, be you, love you, inspire yourself, but also lead others to be just like that. Show someone else the way. A lot of people get to a level where they figure things out, and some become more selfish because they may have had to make a path for themselves. And at that time, when you have to struggle or go through certain situations by yourself, like Rick Ross said, you wasn't with me shooting in the gym. So it's almost like, you want to celebrate the championship, but you weren't with me shooting in the gym. But as far as that goes for me, I'm not a selfish person. I love to give, share for everyone. So it's leaders leading leaders. And the music is the same way. It's motivational. It's about my struggle, my story, and just my life.
Okay. Nice. So when did you realize that you wanted to get into the music industry?
I say, I'm trying to think an exact age. I think I was about 8, maybe 8 or 9 years old when I actually moved to Georgia. Before I moved to Georgia, again, I'm from Minnesota originally. And I was going to a Catholic private school. I'm not Catholic, but I was going to a private school. I lived in not the best of areas in Minnesota. So a lot of people in my area went to those schools just to it was a little better than the public schools. And I used to write a lot of poetry. So I used to love writing. I used to, I even had at a younger age in elementary, I had some things published in different books and scholastic readers and stuff like that. So it was great just writing. And then when I moved to Georgia, I got a different vibe. I got the music vibe. It was a lot different, and it made me want to take the writing and the poetry and turn it into music. I started first recording when I was about 13, 14 years old. That's when I learned how to actually take just my poems and my different writings and turn it into actual bars and music and match it with an actual beat.
Okay. How often are you working on your craft?
I try to work on my craft pretty much every day. Every day I can. Like I say, you learn something new every day and you can progress every day. So with that, one thing I do that my lady and her daughter knows, like, I will freestyle all day every day. I like to listen to jazz when I
Okay.
drive. We like to listen to jazz all day every day.
Is
It's
that what you
real.
were listening to on your way here?
Actually, on my way here, just want to do a shameless plug, but shout out to my dude Fredo. He's a comedian. I was listening to his new project, Drunk Genius 2, which is on iTunes, and I mean it was hilarious. You know, um, I like to keep myself in a certain mood. I love to laugh, so I like to watch comedies. And so him releasing that project, I think a lot more comedians should do the same thing because I enjoyed to be able to drive and laugh at the same time. I mean,
Mhm.
people cutting me off and all. I wasn't even thinking about that because I was too in tune to what was going on. And if I'm not laughing, like I said, I'm relaxed. I'm listening to jazz. And like I said, it's kind of a weird thing, but I figured if I could freestyle the jazz, like when I get on any other beat, it's I could pretty much do it all. I mean, it's like practicing, you practicing in some of the worst conditions to be able to go out and play in the best conditions. But if you were challenged, you'll be able to, surpass those challenges and overcome it and conquer.
Okay, so your the typical beat that you can freestyle to, you said is jazz. So do you kind of like those mellow, smooth type jazz beats?
I like I think personally I could freestyle to any beat. I'm not
Okay.
the best freestyler, but I can't. Once I get on, I'm on and I'm in the zone. And
Mhm.
I just love to have fun with it. So it's like it's not a competition. I'm not, I'm not battling. I'm not like Meat Mill or anybody like that. But it's respect to everybody who does it because it's a mind over matter type thing. And for me, that's the I guess the topic or just my mode or what I'm talking about comes through the beat. So if it's a jazz beat, I might just be on some real smooth rap type. But if it's like, a harder beat or something with much more, I guess you say liveliness to it, you know, the lyrics might be different. But I just love music in general, no matter the beat, no matter the genre.
Okay. Okay. What's a typical day in your life like?
Typical day in my life. Well, one thing for sure, I like to always keep it um, 100% real, 100% open. I try to be open to others who might be in my position or who might be, following in my footsteps. Like I said, leaders leading leaders, and it might be someone who is at a breaking point, but they're going through something that I might have already went through. So for me, like I said, just to be out there, like in the open, I work. I have a job still, and I work my job to be able to invest into everything I do, my brand. And a lot of times, like just at South Cobb High School this weekend, we one of my good friends, Mike Nins, we hosted a pet rally with 1079, excuse me,
Mhm.
and I gave away a lot of shirts, shirts that originally I planned to sell, but it was just the fact that I remember being a kid and being in their shoes and knowing when somebody, I'm not anyone specifically special, but just knowing that when someone gives to you and they give to you out the kindness of their heart, it makes you feel better. And it made me feel good to see them smiling and having a great time.
Mhm.
So, like, like I said, the typical day for me is, waking up, uh, cutting on either the jazz or cutting on some type of motivational video. That's something that me and my lady really got into heavy. Um, it's a great way to wake up because they say, the first 15, 20 minutes of your day when you first wake up, that's usually how your day is molded. So, you first wake up and you get on Instagram and you're looking at all this craziness and all this stuff. That's where your mindset is going to be for the rest of the day if you don't reset it. Or if you wake up and you saying, I'm gonna have a great day, and you going through your mantras and you looking at the positive and the motivational speeches and videos, and you'll go throughout your day with that same feeling. Even when things start to get a little bumpy, you'll have that, that thing that click in your mind, like I just watched this earlier about things like this. So wake up, get that in my mind, get my day started. If I can't get a breakfast, try to get a shake or something. Try to get
Right.
something because breakfast is great too, just to
Right.
get that energy going.
Definitely positive
And
energy.
everything. I just go throughout the day, trying to work on music, just doing something productive in general, just doing something productive. And this is before I go to work. Because they say you have to give the same amount of time to your craft and your passion that you do to your regular 9 to 5 job or to your your job. If you look at your passion and your craft as a career, you have to work on it that way. And so I try to do everything. I don't sleep as much, but I try. I
Right.
try to get my little naps in here and there. But
Right.
like I said, day in the life for It's Cheap is just a hustle right now. A hustle for the positive.
Absolutely. So, what has been your worst career moment and how did you overcome
I say my worst career moment. Um, I guess I could say my worst career moment was kind of not like just one period of time,
it?
but it all kind of coincided together.
Gotcha.
It started when my father passed, 2012 cancer. Um, it didn't necessarily set in and affect me exactly when it happened. It was like March of 2012, and it happened. But I guess I'm so used to trying to be strong for everyone else. And my father lived in another state, was married as well, but I had a good connection with him and his family and my other brothers and sisters. Like I have a big family, and it's all love. There's no broken relationships really with my close family. And even when it is, we build it. So it was just losing him. He really was the link to my family outside of Georgia.
Hmm.
So it's like I didn't really get to see them as much. Um, and it just was tough because he was the number one supporter when it came to my music. One thing I didn't mention is that I'm also an athlete. I played football at Marietta High School, also Marietta Middle School. Like I said, grew up in Cabo, played football, ran track, played basketball. I stayed active, active body, active mind. And, my father always knew that although I was really into the sports,
Hmm.
as much as I thought that I was going to, go to the NFL or run track collegiately and this and that, he knew music eventually would overcome all that. And I didn't know that in the long run until, later on when I realized the music gave me more of a voice than playing sports did. And that's no, disrespect to anybody that plays sports. But just for example, Colin Kaepernick, he had to pretty much step away from playing the sport to be able to really speak his truth and
Hmm.
speak how he feels. And I think music gives me that voice. So the hardest time was I started just working after my father passed. I could say that I was working, I was drinking, um, smoking tobacco. I don't really smoke tobacco like that. I was just doing all this and not resting. And I was actually working out, going to the gym, playing ball. So it's like, I'm just running this computer and doing all this, downloading this and doing everything on the computer, but I'm not resetting it. I'm not refreshing it. And my body crashed by, I don't know if it was a little bit before, but I know the one that I for sure remember was in December. I woke up to paramedics and they told me I had a seizure. And then I started having seizures more in my sleep. And it was only nocturnal. It only happened when I went to sleep. So it could have happened a couple times before, but I never knew because, no one was there. I had roommates, but sometimes, they wouldn't be there. So if it happened, like I might just wake up and I didn't know, like, might have a cut or something, but I didn't know what exactly was going on because I never had any issues or
Right.
epilepsy or anything of that sort.
Right.
But it all was, from sleep deprivation, stress, and just like bottling everything in and never letting it out. Um, and that was, a tough moment. And it stretched through for like 3 years. I was up and down, having seizures here and there. And I was just taking all these different medicines and stuff. one day, a few years later, I just said I'm done taking all the chemicals and putting it in my body because all they were doing was just upping the dosage, trying to maintain the seizures, but it really wasn't doing much. It was just somewhat controlling them, but I still was having them. And, not to be too political, but I stopped taking my medication and I did, smoke marijuana, cannabis. And I have since. And, I haven't had a seizure in 4.5 years. So, it just was an eye opener as well. And it also just helped me just really connect back to just my health. When I got back healthy, started sleeping more, started, just working out, staying hydrated, and, becoming the person I am today. And, I went through that to get to where I am today. And I'm grateful for it. I'm grateful for the struggle. I'm grateful for the battle. I'm grateful for it all because, I wouldn't be where I am today.
Absolutely. Well, good thing that you found something that you're passionate about that, motivates you to, forget all that other stuff. Just
Exactly.
go forward, definitely. What excites you? What are you excited about? Like, what do you want your fans to get from your music?
What makes me most excited just to do music in general and what I want my fans to take from it, again, is just the fact that it gives me a voice. And not only just me a voice, the people who don't have a voice, it helps me give them a voice as well. And like I said, I keep going back to the leaders leading leaders. It allows me to just put out a certain image, put out a certain message that I feel is positive and that will help just our culture in general move forward. And I'm excited in general just how our culture has been, rising just with, black businesses and black artists themselves, just a lot going on in the music business, a lot going on in the corporate world. And so it's just the same vibe that I'm trying to push that I'm excited about because I'm touching every industry from music to the entertainment to whatever it is, corporations. Like I want to be a part of it all to give everybody else that same hope.
Okay, okay. And last but not least, and let everybody know the music that you're pushing. Any new projects, and, albums or whatever you're dropping.
New album out right now is Chief on every platform. That's ITSCHIEF. Um, New single Check is also on the album Check. New brand wear. My birthday is November 1st. So I have the XXX series dropping, which is 30. I'll be 30. I just want to celebrate and have everybody celebrate with me with the XXX series. Um, I got a lot going on, new launch, or relaunch, shall I say. So I have a party of details to be on my social media everywhere on social media at It's Chief, ITSCHIEF. That's Twitter, Instagram, Spotify, all the music platforms. My website, it'schiefworld.com. You can purchase the merch. I have giveaways and different contests. So just, get in contact with me, email me. I love to work with new artists and just different creators. Everybody out there, trying to move up and rise.
Okay.
And shout out to 189 Entertainment.
Okay. Okay. We're definitely going to be on the lookout. And where can we find your merch? Is it on your website?
The merch is on the website. Also, the Instagram is at It's Chief the Brand. At It's Chief the Brand. So that's ITSCHIEF the brand, and it has the link for the actual merch, online merch. You also can contact me for custom orders because I definitely do custom orders, and we'll set it up. I just want to make sure everybody can have something exclusive, something they can call their own, something original. Like I said, it's
Did you bring us some?
I didn't get to bring any because I pretty much gave everything away at South Cobb High School. Shout out to them. Shout out to my high school, Marietta. Everybody had their homecomings. Albany State, my old college, and Clark Atlanta. So shout out to everybody. Hit me up because I'm really trying to get everybody shirts, And like I said, I'm doing giveaways as well. So I got a lot of people that I'm looking to just, give a free shirt. It's your birthday. You got something special coming up. Like, hit me up. I'm looking to make sure that you laced with your own original Is Chief wear. Like I said, shout out to 189 Entertainment, Young and Made, working hard. We got the Gods. The Gods is also another brand that I'm a part of, a brand ambassador. And
Okay.
it's exclusive, real exclusive. Like I said, just lock in me. Everything is on my social media. It's Chief, ITSCHIEF. Two more shout outs. I'm sorry. I gotta shout out Cool Moms Dance too. That's a real positive program that I'm PA for. And it's just circled around families and bringing families out, dancing and enjoying life together. It's about health and fitness and mental health. A lot of Black families have mental health and they don't tackle it. They don't. A lot of people don't believe in it, but it's real. So we definitely check that out on my page. We want you all to come out, have fun, enjoy with your family, mothers, children, fathers, uncles, everyone. BCD, behind closed doors. Check them out and check me out. Like I said, it's Chief. I'm everywhere. I'm grateful to be here. Thank you very much to Hip Hop Weekly. Thank you very much for having us. 189 is Chief, the Gods, and check us out for real. Like really big things coming up. 2018 want to end it with a big bang, and 2019 I just want to be able to celebrate with everybody.
So it was a pleasure speaking with you. Much success, and we do appreciate you for checking
Glad
in
to be here.
and
Glad to be
speaking with
here.
Hip Hop Weekly.
Thank you for having me. It's Chief.